Hey, what's going on, everybody, and happy Saturday. Today is August 26th, and here is, I guess, my watch list that I'm looking for heading into next week. To be honest, there's not much on the list right now, and I'll explain why here in a moment. Cleaning up that little watch list there. All right. So, first off, to really get a feel for why there's not a whole lot of setups out there that I'm watching for, really is because all right, so if we look at the SPX right here, I've been talking about this weekly cup and handle potentially playing out. So let's go over to the weekly time frame, right? So potentially, if this is going to play out, here's our handle. We hit support level right here. We hit the weekly 21 EMA. I'm kind of thinking maybe a month or two of sideways action here, and then potentially fire up above this level with, we'll say, fueled by the Santa Claus rally, if that plays out, things like that. Potentially. I mean, I could be dead wrong, and we could just hit this wall, we consolidate here, then break back down. But at the moment, we can't deny that the weekly trend is higher, for now, anyways. So with that being said, and with the anticipation of potential at least sideways action between this zone here until proven otherwise, then I think the plays right now are within the expected moves, or maybe more if you give your trades more directional or more time for the directional play to trade or to play out, and then or make them pretty theta positive, meaning like maybe out of the money, things like that. It's kind of like how I'm viewing this right now, in terms of preparing a watch list and fitting a watch list based off my overall market thesis. So, kind of at the moment, expecting sideways action between these two levels. If we start to break lower from here, then I will adjust and play from there. But at the moment, I'm kind of anticipating this. That's what I'm looking for to happen. This here, we chop around, then who knows, maybe a month or two, then maybe go back higher. I'm not looking for a completely drastic move lower at the moment. So if that's the case, what can we do here? And like I said, it's just within expected move trades, expecting price to chop around between. I mean, this is a big range. I mean, we still do a lot between here, and we'll see what happens. Now, in terms of, oh, actually, now I'm looking at this. I wanted to point this out too, real quick. So here is where that bearish engulfing candle printed on what 2 days ago. However, it never triggered the low. So it is a bearish engulfing candle, but you never got confirmation, which is a close below the low of the bearish engulfing candle. And so that just proves more sideways action. However, there is one thing that I am keeping a close eye on is this right here. So right here, the 50-day and 20 SMA moving averages did cross negative. Now, what can happen is sometimes is, I'll draw it out, is it'll, the 20-day SMA will dip below and then it'll move back up like this. And then the 50-day will kind of just go, kind of slice right through it, and then it ends up going back up with it. So it's kind of like a quick little cross, and then it goes back up in the prevailing trend. So it's something to keep an eye on. But I'm still leaning to the bullish to sideways until we break this level right here on SPX. And that is basically if we start to break below 43.35 through 4300, then that's when I'll start adjusting my overall market outlook. So that being said, like I said, there is not a whole lot of setups out there that I am actually liking at the moment. That may change throughout the week, but at the current moment that we're currently sitting in, I don't see anything. But here is kind of my overall weekly plan heading into next week. Like I mentioned, so weekly cup and handle potentially. I would like to go longs in underperforming sectors. Consider giving the setups more time to play out and make them theta positive. Kind of like I was talking about, maybe out of the money, or kind of like the ConocoPhillips trade that we have in the small account mentorship and in the options room gold. A little bit more time to play out. And so I'm looking for within expected move type of trades. And I didn't see any within expected move trades that I like right now. Um, there was actually one continuation short. I didn't write it down. It is actually McDonald's. Looks like that may be continuation short setup worth watching. And I don't see any longs. I don't really want to do this yet. If I'm expecting sideways action, I didn't really see any bear squeezes, bullish. And then as far as the bullish ones, it's kind of a mixed bag of sectors. They're basically honey badgers, but we'll talk about those as well. So let's go ahead and start all that process. All right, so first one up is SNX. I don't think I've ever traded SNX before. Um, I would actually, I want to talk about this real quick because this is something that I heard John Carter say a long time ago, and it always stuck with me. All right, so what I want to draw your attention to is right here on the weekly chart, you see there is a lot of green and yellow. So basically, in the easiest way, if you don't know what this is, if it's green, it means bullish, yellow means sideways, it means strong bullish trend, and yellow means sideways trend. Now, in the daily time frame, you see how we're red to yellow, and we have one green in tech. So something worth noting. Now, what JC said that's always stuck with me, and I utilize this to this day because it makes sense, and I want to pass this to y'all if you have not heard it before. So right here we see the overall weekly trend is still bullish, right? Still bullish to sideways. Anything on the lower time frame that is counter to what is happening on the larger time frame is nothing more than a great entry for the larger time frame. So what does that mean? Right now, I get everything can seem scary, but for me, I'm still leaning sideways to up. At the moment, I don't see a reason to be thinking that the market's going to die. I do think the market wants to consolidate, but I don't think that we're turning back down at the moment. So that being said, we're just at a really good entry point for the overall trend is what I wanted to get at. So that's why I only have a few bullish swings on. Now let's talk about this setup here. SNX, it's in a weekly squeeze that is going bullish. The 34 EMAs, 34 and 21 EMAs are starting to cross positive. We're getting early in signals at the entry zone for the weekly signal. And then there is a high compression squeeze. It looks like it's starting to build and want to slingshot to the upside. And it is going yellow. So this is one of those moments I want to wait a little bit to see if we start to get this a little bit tighter. And then I would like to potentially play this to the long side. The EMAs are stacked positive. You can see there was kind of like this trend line that went down after a false break, probably after earnings, smacked right back down. And you can see just right here that this prevailing trend line right here is being broken on the weekly time frame. So then next will be the move higher. So I am like an SNX for a bullish play. Next one is ADP. This one, well, actually, you know what? I want to take this one off the list, and I'm going to explain to you why I'm going to take this off the list. I should have noticed this a second ago. I'm going to take this off the list right here. Daily time frame, superb. It looks great, right? Bam, 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 bam. Got a squeeze, looking great. Bam. So when I'm looking at the market, expecting it to not really run overly too much, because right, I've talked about potentially sideways to bullish. On the weekly time frame, we're already close to the ATR or third ATR limit. So it's the same as a daily time frame. If the weekly time frame is all the way up here, that means there's almost like no room to move. Yes, the daily time frame looks great, but I'm not going to participate in it simply because of we're up here at that ATR level. So I'm actually going to take that off the watch list and move on. So next is BDX. All right, so all right, weekly time frame. We have our stacked DMAs. We have our weekly squeeze that is just now starting to fire. And yes, we're up here at the second ATR, right, or right below it, between the first and second ATRs on the weekly time frame after this little squeeze breakout right here. And we're just now starting to close and fire to the upside. That means we have room to run. If we're up here at this third ATR, we don't want to actually go and hop in it just yet. Then over here on the daily time frame, we have our stacked DMAs, our 52-week channel, Our squeeze is going bullish. We have our high-low thrust and trend going up. So all that being said, even if you trade it as a little flag breakout, I do like this for a bullish play, probably up to about probably 290 if it wants to play out there. So I'm going to watch this one for a potential entry here to look to play the bullish squeeze, right? So just check, 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 and check. And believe it or not, last but not least, is Fastly. So Fastly had a pretty good sell-off right all the way down on the weekly time frame, stalled around $8. Now we're starting to move back up. So this one is going to have to pull back. So take that for what it's worth. I'm not looking to rush into this one at all. But what I am liking is this. So the weekly time frame, its ADX is positive. Its EMA is going to not be cross positive, simply because, I mean, it's coming off a bottom. It's going to take some time for that to straighten out some. So if this is starting to go higher, we do have a weekly squeeze that is starting to fire. We're up here at the second ATR. Like I said, that is extended. We're up here past the second ATR on the daily time frame as well. I'm going to look for a quick little pullback, which, if you've been trading with me, I will have to catch a pullback down here near 20. And that could happen in a day. I mean, its beta is 2.8, so that means it's a very volatile stock. So a quick dip down to 20, snag it, then back up is completely possible. But in the context of the weekly bullish squeeze, the ADX, stacked EMAs, channels, everything just says bullish, squeeze. We have our thrust and trend and arrows. Just need a pullback. So I'm going to be watching Fastly for a pullback to about 20 to come in, snag an entry, and take it back to the upside. But that's really all I have in terms of swing trades. I guess what I want to do to keep moving the ball forward in the account is probably do a lot of overnight iron condors and things like that, maybe a few day trades. But other than that, at this current moment, I'm not seeing a whole lot of things that I'm exactly wanting to rush in and grab as of yet. All the setups are kind of they're not ideal, so I'm just waiting to be patient on it to see if there's a setup worth hopping in. But that's all I really have for y'all. If you have any, oh, actually, hold on, I lied. Let me go back. I talked about McDonald's a second ago. All right, and so first off, the reason I'm talking about this, so let's go to XLP. XLP is looking pretty weak, right? Consumer staples. There's a bearish bullish squeeze happening. We're having early in signals. So 34 and 21 EMAs are starting to cross negative. There was a bearish squeeze that fired to the downside. Now XLP larger time frame is looking like it wants to go short, right? So then we'll come over to McDonald's. Oops, MCD. Right here, in terms of a continuation short play, there is a weekly squeeze going negative. ADX red, VWAX stack negative. We had the flush down to basically the 30 ATR. We got a rally up to the daily 21 EMA, close on pretty close to doji. So this is a pretty good little short area, and look for price to continue lower. Like I said, if the market is wanting to go sideways to up, this one you might have to either give it a little bit more time or keep a short leash on it. But this is one I'm looking to continue to the downside. There is a tree line over here at basically 276, so that's all the way at the 30 TR. But I will be looking for this one as a potential short if I am wanting to add a short to my watch list. Basically, what I'm be looking for right now is, so in the context, everything's looking short. We have our rally reversal candle at a key moving average. If we start to break this low, we can start to look for price to move lower to 280, potentially even to 76. All right, but that's all I have for y'all. Hope everyone has a great and wonderful day. If you have any good tickers worth watching for the setups that I trade, by all means, throw them in the comment section. I'd love to check them out. But it's pretty much all I have for now. I'll have to see what shapes up through the week. Have a good rest of your weekend, everybody, and see y'all on the next one. Take care.